Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. This is our first day on the job site. What we have here is a water problem along the house siding. What's happening is that the sprinklers were overspraying, and then you have a raised planter along the house. The siding is actually below that bark in there, so it's basically rotting out the siding. So we're going to remedy that. And what we're going to do is remove that brick raised planter, remove the grass, cap the sprinkler system off that waters that whole entire area. Then we're going to fill it in with concrete. Then the concrete will be below the last piece of siding. That way you can't get water damage there anymore. This is a perfect DIY project right here. We're going to mix this by hand. We have a small little mixer, electric mixer we're going to use, and we're just going to get some bag mix at Home Depot. We're going to get some Quickcrete 60-pound bags, and we're going to add, what I like to do with that is per mixer load we can do about 4 60-pound bags, and then I use one shovel full of Portland cement for each load. Also, I throw in a handful of fiber mesh in each load as well. But you can take a look at that siding there. It was in bad condition. Here's the sprinkler. It came underneath this sidewalk and it fed this whole side. So I traced it down to this point. And then I'm going to cap it here. That way we have no dead lines underneath the new concrete. Another thing we'll be doing is to make sure this little cap doesn't blow off the end in the future, is I'll actually put concrete around it. Kind of like a kicker block on the big pipes, what you would see in more of a commercial setting. So what this particular homeowner had done initially, you can see that foam there. He was having, well, not only did he have the problem with the water damage, he also had a rat infestation, and they were tunneling up underneath that siding. So he put that spray expansion foam under there, and I had to cut it all out because it was just a mess. Also, what I'll be doing so that this sidewalk doesn't separate from the new concrete, I'll drill into the side of that sidewalk with some 3/8 inch rebar, which you see there happening. Now I'm going to cut my rebar dowels that I'll pound into those holes. Also, when we remove that raised planter, we also knocked a chunk of the brick off of that step, so we'll have to rebuild that as well. It's just one corner brick. It's going to be really easy to fix. Threw some rebar in here because I happen to have it on the truck. It may not even be really necessary, but if you got it, throw it in there. Got the angle bar on that crack point. Here's the chalk line going in. So all this siding will have to be replaced, or tear it all off and put stucco, one or the other. There's the bags of concrete, the 60-pound Quickcrete bags that I added cement powder to. And there's the mixer. So we got one guy mixing, and then I'm placing it. And this was I got one pallet. One pallet will fit in a pickup truck. They're about just under 4 feet wide, so it fits in between the fender wells. And the nice thing about that is if you have extra, they can forklift it on and off, and you can get a full refund for the bags you don't use. So rather than buying in bulk, having all that excess laying around, you don't know what to do with the excess, you can actually just do it this way and return the excess bags. So there's no waste. Here's a joiner. That joiner goes 3/4 of an inch deep. It has a 1/2 inch radius. So you can see this concrete's finishing pretty nicely, nice and creamy, and you won't really get that if you don't add the cement to it, because for some reason it's really gritty, and you don't really get a lot of cream to the surface unless you add this extra cement to it. That particular brand anyway. Some brands, you're going to pay a little bit more, but you can use it right out of the bag, and it'll finish out fine. But this is a nice inexpensive way to get a good product. Hi, David Odell here, and I want to show you a little bit of the order of the tools that you'll need if you were to do one of these little projects on your own. So far what we've done here is we've used a mixer, and we've used bag concrete, we used Quickcrete. I added some Portland cement. I used 3 60-pound bags per mixer load with 1 shovel full of Portland cement added to it. So the bag says 3,500, but I added the cement, so it might be up to 4,500 psi possibly. Now let's go through the order of tools that I used on this job so far. First thing I needed was a shovel. I got a square point. That's where I moved the concrete around with. While I was laying the concrete down, I used a wood hand float just to kind of shape it up. Then you'll need a screed board. I happen to use this 6-foot Milwaukee red stick. It's designed for concrete. Then I went to the wood bowl float. After I got that done, then I went to a walking edger. Then I started cutting the joints in it, and I used this walking joiner. This is 3/4 deep, 1/2 inch radius, and this walking edger is 1/2 inch radius. Then I knocked out all my lines with this funny trowel. All of these tools here connect to this pole, and this is all I needed was 1 pole. 6-foot pole. It adapts to all these tools. Then as the concrete got set up a bit, then I went down to the hand tools. Here's your joiner that matches that walker. Hand edger matches your walking hand edger. Then I got 2 trowels, a small little 12-inch and a 20-inch. The final step will be the broom texture, and this connects to the pole also. So that's the whole, these are all the tools you'll need. You could, if you wanted to skimp on a few things, you could get rid of this. You get rid of the walking edger, you get rid of the walking joiner, get rid of the funny trowel. That's your bare essentials right here. You could do this size job just with these. You possibly could even get rid of this on something this size. This is a 1 yard job, 80 square feet, 4 inches deep. Anyway, that's kind of the tools you need if you're going to attempt to do one of these. Check the pawn shops. You can get some deals on used tools there. Nice thing about that is you probably won't be using them a lot unless you're going to do this for a career, but if you're going to use them once or twice, yeah, get used ones, because these things are kind of expensive and they're already broke in, is the nice thing. And if they're not in real good shape, you can grind the edges of them and polish them up a little bit with a palm sander or whatever. All right, let's get back to business. So there's the bare essentials to be able to do these jobs DIY style. And when you mix it by hand like we did here, your set time is a lot slower than if you have a ready mix truck bring it out. You're probably going to buy yourself an extra hour to 2 hours by mixing it, on the job site. The reason for that is because you have a fresh load that hasn't set in a truck and gotten heated up in travel time. There's your 50% nylon, 50% horsehair broom. That's your final application here. The joining concrete is a salt finish, but they didn't care to match that, so we went with the broom. Alright, there's your finished product. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.